Colin Anthony, I appreciate you taking the time. Um, there's a lot of questions. I'm going to start from the very beginning. Can you give us an idea of when was the first approach? Not maybe not just physically, but like when was the NBL introduced to you as a realistic option for you? And then how did this actually begin? You becoming a part of Melbourne United?
Well, it's great. I got my boy Bryce on here on the call with me because he actually was the first person to bring it to me. And for me, that was an automatic green flag with my right hand man. Is bringing me an opportunity that he believes could be a good opportunity for me. And so this was probably, I believe, earlier, like probably early last month. So it hasn't been like a super long, but you know, ever since the Melbourne was brought onto the table, they've been recruiting me hard, and we just took our time and we thought this was the best possible move for us.
So we're under the impression that Joe Ingles also played some sort of role. Obviously, you have a connection with him. What did he tell you about the league that made you feel a little bit more comfortable about signing with United and in the NBL, knowing that someone like him can vouch for it too?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen just myself, just as long as these past several years, how the NBL is kind of, you guys have had players go out there. I know a good buddy of mine, RJ Hampton, was out there. Um, what's it called? Joe, obviously, he's a dude for me who, when I was on the Magic, I was just like, yo, I love this guy. He's a great teammate, but also he has such a great understanding for the game of basketball. And ever since he kind of got in my ear about it, it was just like to me, like, yo, all right, I'm listening. I just think it's a great opportunity to go learn from someone who played in the league for how long did Joe play? What, 9 or 10 years? I think 10 years. He might have got to 10. And for me, I was just like, yo, I feel like I could come in here and just, I'm still young, 26 years old. I have a lot of learning and maturing left to do. And I felt that he was a guy for me that I can come in and just learn from, just soak up a lot of knowledge, soak up a lot of just, info about the game and just how to play and how to hoop. And what better place to come do that than, where he from and just be in a beautiful city in Melbourne and just have a good time while we're doing it.
So then I'm so then I'm curious. So then the question is really why the NBL to do that? Because you would have had NBA opportunities still in the NBA ecosystem. There's probably more money to make elsewhere. The NBL is a really unique kind of place to come and use to presumably springboard back to being a full-blown real NBA player. Why did this feel like the right place for you to be to do that?
Yeah, for me, it wasn't a money play. I'm blessed enough to be in a position right now where I don't. That's not the that wasn't for me the driving factor of this decision. For me, I was looking at it like, all right, like this is a very well respected league where I can come and I can potentially carve a path for myself back to the NBA. But also at the same time, obviously Joe's here, uh, Coach Coach Jacob, he's a dude who just came back from the NBA, who's head coach of the G League Spurs. Like I can relate to him on some levels just with that, and just yeah, like it was just for me. I was just like, I feel like this, like when all things in, like way of living, no language barrier, just coming to a place I've always wanted to come to since I was young. And being Australia as a whole, I've never been, so I'm excited to finally to get down there soon. And yeah, we just, I thought about heavily, like for a long time. It was just like, yo, all right, this feels right.
What's the prevailing emotion knowing that you have to be Joe Ingles' teammate for another season?
Oh, pure joy and happiness. Nothing. Oh, I can't wait to kick it with Uncle Joe, man. He's just someone who's just is a really high IQ basketball player, even at the tender age of pushing 40. You know what I'm saying? Like but he knows the game and he's a hooper at the end of the day. And me and him always just got along, and I'm just excited to just learn and soak up what knowledge I can from him.
When this was announced, you mentioned the idea of wanting to continue to grow as a player. We've seen you be an elite level player. You've played at a high level in the NBA. What does growing as a player look like to you? What's the next step that you can take?
Think for myself, I mean, and this was, I obviously I have more maturing to do. That's why I felt like this would be a good place for me to do it. Just obviously, I'm still gonna have a good time, get some good weather, but I just, for me, I want to take that next level of just becoming a consistent basketball player, just being able to string along several good performances, not great, not bad, but just like solid, very solid, and just continue to just develop as a player because I'm never going to perfect the game, but we can get close.
How like cognizant and aware are you of the fact that what you're doing is something that I don't think we've seen in the NBL? Usually we see former NBA guys come to the NBL toward the back end of their respective careers, right? They're done in the NBA, they want to experience new things. You're smack bang in the middle of your career, 26, either still entering your prime or maybe haven't even entered it yet, and you've done this. Are you aware of the sort of history that you're kind of making by making this move?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, at least semi-aware of it. But for me, like I just I want to embrace that at all. Like I think it's something that it's unprecedented. Just have players who are really in the prime of their career as a first round draft pick, been in the league 6 years now, to just kind of up and leave. But for me, I felt like this was the best path to just for my development as a whole, like as a human being and also as a basketball player.